2 goals.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles. This is Premier Football.
To prove the Tottenham hierarchy wrong for ousting him from that Tottenham job. So he has a lot to prove, Ange. So I think it's the right step in the right direction, bearing in mind that even Nottingham Forest are now in the Europa League. So that means they have a manager that knows how to marshal his way through, even with a squad that was seriously hit with injury last season to Tottenham, and he still found a way and managed to get them to the finish line, and they won the trophy. So they have one experienced manager, and most likely too would have learned from his mistakes. So I think that it will come good.
Okay, it's good luck to Ange Postecoglou when he gets into the bench tomorrow and lead out Nottingham Forest for the first time. What a big task it is for him and going up against Arsenal right there at the Emirates Stadium, where it can always be lousy. It's left to say at 12:30 what Arsenal will also be bringing to the party against Nottingham Forest. You can join us on Premier Sport Faceta tomorrow for analysis and comment commentaries of that encounter at the Emirates Stadium. Okay, Paulo, should Arteta rotate his squad to keep players fresh or stick with the strongest XI? We saw Noni Madueke getting his first goal for England during the international break. And do you think this is the right moment to start Noni Madueke?
Yeah, definitely, because you have Bukayo Saka out for some games now, and I don't think there's any other person that is going to step up now. And in fact, the sole reason why Madueke was brought in was to come and play when Bukayo Saka is not available, or tired, to give Bukayo Saka a break. And now Bukayo Saka is out, so Madueke will definitely start the game tomorrow. I don't see, unless there's any injury or any other. I don't think there will be any other excuse other than if he's out injured. So he's definitely starting tomorrow.
Okay, it's left to say Noni Madueke will be starting for Arsenal tomorrow against Nottingham Forest. One name who is out of that encounter has to be Nottingham Forest defender who cooped up an hamstring injury while playing international fixtures with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The Nottingham Forest right back is expected to be out for 3 months, and he is expected back December in the Nottingham Forest team. That is a big injury worry for the Nottingham Forest team. Back to Nottingham Forest, you might can Nottingham Forest cause an upset and expose Arsenal's defensive vulnerabilities tomorrow?
I don't think so. I think it's one game that Arsenal should be taking easily. Because if Arsenal start dropping these kinds of games, that means they are not serious about the title. So I think Arsenal should go in for the kill and do the needful. And it's a squad that is not balanced. It's different when a team is not doing well and you sack the manager. Now it's different also when you sack the manager because of rift. There are some players that might love the manager. I think it will be an unbalanced squad right now. They need to get themselves together first. So facing Arsenal, I don't think is the best first game for Ange.
Okay, lights will be on Chris Wood for Nottingham Forest tomorrow, and also Victor Gyökeres for Arsenal tomorrow, who is going to break the deadlock, who is going to be the first goal scorer in that game tomorrow, going to win the game tomorrow for his team. Only time will tell that. We move away from Emirates Stadium and straight to Stamford Bridge, where straight to Brentford, where Brentford versus Chelsea. Brentford have built a reputation for making life difficult for top sides at home. Chelsea is still adapting under Enzo Maresca and needs a big performance to show that they are serious top 4 contenders. This could be a tactical battle for the Blues tomorrow when they host, or when they travel away to Brentford. It's another London derby in that encounter. Apollo, have Chelsea shown enough improvement under Maresca to be trusted in this kind of tricky away fixtures?
Well, this is not the first time we're playing against Brentford. He played with Chelsea last season. He was in charge, and I think they played at a goalless draw away there, and it was a very much strong Brentford side with the like of Yohan Wissa and Buemo and co, including their goalkeeper. And this time around, they don't have those players, and even the goalkeeper. Yeah, they have a new set now, even a new manager, and in fact, the manager is even inexperienced because I think this is the first job he will be taking charge of. Talking about Andrews, I've forgotten his other name, but I think Enzo Maresca, but looking at Chelsea this season, I don't think they've not started the way they finished the season. You look at the first 2-3 games they've played, though they've won some and drawn some, but they've not started the way they play. But this is after international break. After international break, games are usually kind of not
tricky.
Tricky because but Brentford will be playing at home, but they will want to be riding on. We are playing at home, and their last game at home, I think they won the game about 2 or 3-0, if I could remember. But it's Chelsea coming to town, and so far for Chelsea, the team is not complete. Injury here and there. So let's see. But I still think overall Chelsea have what it takes to defeat Brentford at home there.
Okay, that game comes up at 8 p.m. tomorrow. We have the likes of Alejandro Garnacho and also Fuendo, who will be looking to mark their debuts at Chelsea tomorrow against in this game against Brentford. What do you think these two players will bring into this setup?
Yeah, I think Chelsea needs some spark down the left, the attacking side. The right winger that can use the right to take on players, and I think Garnacho can do a lot of good competition with Gittins that needs to grow. So I think Garnacho is a bit grown than Gittins at this stage. So I think that from there they can both grow. So Garnacho will be bringing it a lot. And for Fuendo might not get too many minutes because Kopama is almost back, and there's one guy Estavio that is doing well in that role also. We saw what he brought in against Fulham and also West Ham. So when you look at those things, I think that Fuendo's minute might not be as much as it should be, but I think that will get some minutes to prove himself. But I think it's just a shock absorber to cover up for this season.
Okay, Chelsea fans and Chelsea faithfuls will be hoping to see if Alejandro Garnacho will be making his debut as a Blue come tomorrow against Brentford. Paulo, lastly, how big of a factor will Brentford direct side and set pieces be in this game? We saw them last season; they are actually good from set pieces and they know how to get those early minutes and goals. But this time around, they are without Thomas Frank, the manager who has now joined Tottenham Hotspur. So how do you think they will approach this game against Chelsea tomorrow?
Well, they want to play like the home team. First of all, we want to start on a bright side. Try and quickly settle Chelsea and want to eat them on the counter and probably cause one or two free kicks or corner kicks. So like you said, they are very good when it comes to set piece, and they still have their set piece manager there, and the manager now in charge now is not new to the team. He has been with the team for some time now. Hopefully he wants to continue with that trend. And we know Brentford also, they like to play out from the back. They try and at times try and soak up the pressure and try to eat the opponent on the counter attack. And I still believe that's what they're going to do tomorrow. They definitely have a plan to allow Chelsea to come forward and try and eat Chelsea back on the counter attack.
Okay, there's so much to suffer at the Brentford Community Stadium tomorrow when Brentford hosts Chelsea right there in that EPL. It's at 8 p.m. It should be the last EPL fixture tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I'll move straight to the big one for the weekend. There's the Manchester derby between Manchester City and Manchester United at the Etihad. The biggest match of the weekend. Pep Guardiola City's face off against Ruben Amorim's United in a derby that could shape both teams of season. City wants to stay a bit at the top of the league, while United needs to prove they can compete with the very best. Is United capable of going toe to toe with City, or will they sit deep and hope to eat on the counter?
Yeah, I think going to the Etihad with Guardiola, I think that most likely they want to sit deep. They have pacey wingers. They have Diallo, Mbuemo, and the likes. Even Kwa in the middle is very fast.
They'll be missing Kwa.
Kwa is out.
And missing out. So,
and there's one other player also.
But there's still Diallo and Mbuemo that can do a whole lot going forward. And they still have their Benjamin Sesko up front. So who should have a lot of pace in them. So I think they will just absorb pressure and hit on the counter. And Manchester City is also very vulnerable to that. They are missing some key players too, including Omar Mamouche, the Egyptian attacker right there. So I think that Man U will soak pressure while Man City will try to attack.
Okay, we saw Erling Haaland got five goals in the during the international game for Norway against Moldova. 5 goals, that is actually a good number for Erling Haaland, forgetting about the opponent or the quality of opponent he faced. But this should be a morale booster for Erling Haaland. Do you see him causing any damages against Manchester United, who has also loaned out Andre Onana to Trabzonspor?
Yeah, first of all, it was confirmed today, Andre Onana joining Trabzonspor, and it's been long coming, due to his performance over the last 2 seasons. But back on Erling Haaland has been a player that's, I remember his 4th season, I think he got an hat-trick against Manchester United. He's always been a thorn in the flesh of Manchester United. But so far, look at how City have been playing since last season. They've not been themselves, even up to this new season. If you ask me the question you asked Yermite, he said Manchester United should soak up the pressure. I want to say no. They should go toe-to-toe with Manchester City, because you look at Manchester City now, they are not the Manchester City we used to know 2-3 seasons ago. once you attack them now, you are definitely going to get goals from them. Look at how Brighton played them. Not giving them that time and space and allowing them to dominate you. Because if one thing about Manchester United is that once they concede, it's always very difficult for them to come back. So a team like Manchester City, if you are going to take all 3 points against them, make sure you are getting the goals first. So for me, I think Manchester United should go toe to toe with them. But on Erling Haaland, if Manchester United are going to take any 3 points from that game tomorrow, they will need to make sure they keep Erling Haaland very quiet in that game.
Okay, let's see if the Manchester United defense can keep Erling Haaland quiet in that encounter. Mate, how important is this game for Ruben Amorim's job security and Manchester United momentum?
Yeah, I think Man U is not in a financial place to sack a manager like Ruben Amorim right now. I think they will still nothing. I don't think they will give him nothing less than 10 matches this season before they can start thinking of sacking him because of their FFP. Is one coach, I think, under 3 years or how many years contract, so they will have to pay off and all those things. So I think that his job might be secure for now, at least the next 10 games or thereabout. So I think but it will be one game that you want to win to ease the pressure on the guys and at least start giving the Manchester United fans a glimpse of hope.
Okay, lastly, do you think Manchester United, the midfield depth could be Manchester City, midfield depth could be the deciding factor yet again tomorrow?
Definitely. You have the likes of Rodri back in the team now, and I expect him to start, the game. There's also, what's his name again? Tijani Reinders, who will also be there alongside Bernardo Silva. That is if he's not pushed, to the wing. But if he's pushed to the wing, probably, what's his name again now? We might be seeing the one of the new signing again, Ryan Cherky, who can also play.
Yeah,
There's also Foden there. There is Foden who can also come into play as a number 10.
Out.
So I think the battle will be in the midfield, because we know with Manchester United, the Amorim, the way he plays, he likes to overload the midfield there. And for Manchester City now, their midfield will have to step up and if they can outnumber or outplay the Manchester United midfield, I think they are good to go.
Okay, that game comes up on Sunday at the Etihad Stadium at 4:30 p.m. Manchester City against Manchester United. Straight to the defending champions, Liverpool will be traveling to Burnley. Isak has also joined that club. Liverpool travels to Burnley with all eyes on Alexander Isak, who could make his first appearances completing his British record transfer from Newcastle. Burnley will test on Liverpool's ability to stay patient and clinical against a well-organized side. Should Arne Slot start Isak right away or bring him in from the bench to ease him into that Liverpool squad?
Yeah, I think the best bet right now for him is to at least ease him from the bench.
I think he also said that during the press conference that he won't be starting him for the next 2 games.
That's because you need to let him grow into the squad. Forget the price tag. You have to pay what you have to pay for who you want, but you have to introduce him the right way to be, so that you don't kill him off with pressure, and pressure can actually kill potential. So he needs to be wise about that.
Okay, that is expected from Arne Slot, and the man who won the league with Liverpool. Paulo, how will Liverpool balance their attacking lineup with Isak now in the midst? Ekitike was also got it for a big money, and we've seen him with about 3 goals, if I'm not mistaken, this season. And it's showing two goals this season, and it's showing that yes, he is not here to sit or to warm the bench for a record breaker. How do you expect Arne Slot, to balance this attack?
Well, it's going to be a difficult, not going to be a really difficult choice between, having, what's his name now, Alexander Isak and Ekitike. The decision will be to play the record signing. That is Alexander Isak. But since Isak might not be starting, probably coming from the bench for now, but I think you still have the likes of Cody Gakpo, Mohamed Salah, and either Ekitike or Alexander Isak starting, from the front 3 there. So I don't think they have any too many issues. And apart from Ekitike now and what's his name, Isak. I don't think Salah and Cody Gakpo really have any other people competing with them. So it's just easy for the manager. It's either I decide to start Alexander Isak or the other guy now, Ekitike. So I think the attack, they don't really have any too much worries there.
Okay, you might. Is there any chance of a Burnley upset tomorrow against Liverpool?
Yeah, I think it's possible because in Premier League anything can happen. Even the best of the best has lost to the struggling teams, even teams that eventually got relegated, and the league leaders drop points against them. So the Premier League is really really unpredictable when it comes to the minnow and the favorite fixtures. So you have to just be careful. Go into every game with a killer, or else you drop unnecessary points.
Okay, we saw Burnley almost taking a victory over Manchester United, and from winning situation they got themselves into almost getting the 1 point, but unfortunately at the dying embers of that game they finally lost that game to Manchester United 3-2. Let's say if they can take some points, if possible maximum point against the league table leaders right now, that is Liverpool, in that game when Burnley takes on Liverpool. Straight to the big debate, which is Alexander Isak versus Erling Haaland. It's the striker debate everyone's talking about right now. Pep Guardiola says Haaland is still the benchmark, while Arne Slot believes that Liverpool have signed the league best forward in Isak. With both playing this weekend, this is a perfect chance for the fans to compare both strikers. And Paulo, who is more complete as a striker? Haaland with his ruthless finishing, or Isak with his all-round game?
Well, it's a very, very difficult one. When you talk about most complete, to be honest, if you talk about complete and both head, both feet, with dribbles and everything, you want to look at Alexander Isak. But when you talk about getting those goals, that is what a striker is for. I think it's Erling Haaland. Overall, to me, I'll pick Erling Haaland ahead of Alexander Isak, because with Erling Haaland, you are sure to get a lot of goals. I'm not taking anything away from Alexander Isak. Is also a good goal scorer, but the kind of form Erling Haaland has been in the last 2-3 seasons, you can't definitely take anything away from him.
Okay, that is it from Paulo. Uncle Isak arrival makes some Liverpool attack more unpredictable than City's.
I think so, because City is in a transition state, whereby the support cast. One thing, the difference why I would prefer Isak to Haaland is Haaland needs support cast. Isak can be a solo striker and do the job himself. He can get into the lines, break the lines, dribble in, get into position and also finish. But there's one thing about Haaland: when you give him the ball, he will finish. So that's why I would tilt more towards Isak, because of the build-up play also before the finishing. So when you look at it, all rounder, Man City is struggling with the build-up these days. So I think Isak for me will be a better choice. And to get to the arrival of Isak, I think for me this season, Isak should be the top goal scorer or close to the top goal scorer, because he's in a team whereby the midfielders are on point. It's almost like the Argentine guy, McAllister, and those guys are in the form of their life. You can't compare to Man City. Man City, Ryan Sheki, Rangers, they're just trying to grow into the league. So Liverpool has the boys that they are already in form. They understand the league. They just won the league. So I think Isak also, I think it was the highest scorer last season.
No.
Yeah.
For Newcastle. It was
it was Salah that was, but I think it was his highest goal scorer as a striker. The striker with the highest goal, because I knew that he scored more than Erling Haaland last season, even sometimes, and he was out injured. So I think that when you talk about this, Alexander Isak, perfect for me, almost perfect move to Liverpool. I think that's the club that are best suited.
Okay, so it's making that at Newcastle at Liverpool this time around. Yes, it's a rivalry between these two players. I would have put on Gyökeres, but Gyökeres hasn't gotten to that level of these two strikers. With this rivalry, push both players and both clubs to a new level this season.
Talking about Liverpool, you are especially everyone with the acquisitions that Liverpool have made this season, the amount they spent, they are to, you expect them to move to the next level of football where they go invincible, player, because now you can't spend close to 400 million pounds, and first half they were
But
completely dominated.
it wasn't a poor game against Arsenal.
It wasn't a poor game, but it's not overall. The way Liverpool, we expect Liverpool to play with everything they've gathered this season.
But you guys also gathered some players.
Yeah, but there's difference between the way Arsenal and
Are you guys doing
Liverpool.
fantastically well this season?
So far, no, we've not been. We've not come close to how good we used to be. To me,
Have you ever been good?
Yeah, we've been.
Okay, you're right. Lastly, looking at the rivalries between these two players, it's not a new rivalry, yes. They are not new to the EPL. Talking about Erling Haaland and Alexander Isak, but playing Alexander Isak, moving a step up right now to Liverpool. Do you think it's going to heighten also the level of rivalry between these two players?
I think it's going to heighten it. It's a journey to who wins the golden boot. But I think one thing that might also affect Isak is that Mo Salah likes to score goals. So Adibi Mo Salah can leave the score, but one thing that will also work for him is Mo Salah likes to assist. So it's like having two-edged sword. You don't know which one. But there's one thing that will work for Isak. He knows how to break the lines himself, create goal-scoring opportunity, and score the goal himself. So I think that those things will work for him. But you have a Man City that the midfield is struggling. I don't know if they will spark up during the season, but right now they've not really gotten that spark that they need. But the Liverpool midfield, they are on fire because when they get the proper number 9, they will feed him with a lot of balls, and conversion is not a problem for Isak. We've seen him in Newcastle. I think if he can get his head down and play football, because he really wanted the move. And the one thing about a player wanting to go to one club, he didn't mention two. He didn't say maybe. He only said he wanted Liverpool. And now he's at Liverpool. Then you have an happy player who is very good. For me, the best striker right now that I can think of, in fact, Mbappe is not a number 9 to me. I think the number one that I will pick in the world of football right now is Isak.
Okay, yes, on the big Swede striker, all eyes will be on him this weekend. Still 35 games to go in the EPL, so there's a big battle to see who ends up with the golden boot in the EPL. So it's just starting after game 3, so we still have 35 more games to go. Well, that is a wrap on today's Talk Sports. We've previewed for huge Premier League games and the striker showdown that could define the title race. Now we want to hear from you, the fans. Who wins the Manchester Derby? Should Liverpool start Isak right away? And who's the better striker rather between Isak and Haaland? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the like and share, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on post-match analysis after the weekend action. That is about how much we can take on today's edition of TalkSport on Premier Sport Fan Center. Don't forget to join us tomorrow when EPL and our commentary returns on Premier Sport Fan Center. So we come your way again. It's bye for now.